choice. What's my choice? What? There aren't enough ingredients? As SUREN's physical condition was greatly improving, I received a surprising report from the servant in charge of the kitchen. Apparently, we were out of one of the root vegetables that SUREN liked eating, which was also good for healing the body. It is sticky, and when mashed, it has a unique sweetness and a delicious taste. Ruzi had recommended it, so lately I'd been using it a lot. That's weird. When I checked yesterday, there was still plenty left.
Yes, I remember that as well.
No thief would break in here and only steal vegetables, and no one in the house is suspicious. They've all been serving SUREN for many years now. Regardless of how hungry he might be, in the current situation, getting caught now would be very disadvantageous. It's been raining a lot lately, so maybe they rotted due to the moisture, and someone noticed that and threw them away without reporting it.
Ah, perhaps even the vegetables are wont to run away from the master's military might.
Definitely. If he stares at them, they don't really stand a chance. Look at Naala chumming around with the valet. Since I started caring for SUREN, my work as a wife has multiplied many times over. As such, I'm interacting more with the people in the house, so we can joke around in this way. However, every time I deepen my attachments to this land and its peoples, I get impatient. Even having a fun conversation, I get suspicious and my chest hurts. Well then, I'll go out to buy some.
No,
You've got to help out with SUREN's work, right? You'll drop dead if you take on more work. The military work that SUREN was doing was quite more than expected. The deputy commander seems to be taking over for him now, but even that is not enough to completely fill the gap, and SUREN's subordinates are being sent out. Normally, a military commander would have a lot of live-in chamberlains and the like. I was just thinking that, I'm like, is there really nobody else? SUREN has a surprisingly eccentric streak and only wants those who are very close to him by his side. I mean, it's probably a good idea to only have those that are very loyal to you in your house anyway. Put in the bare minimum and leave the rest to the secretary and aides. Because of this, the mundane affairs in the mansion are in a ridiculous state, with direct subordinates concurrently in charge, which makes times like this quite the pain.
apologies, madam.
You don't have to apologize. His eccentricities aren't your fault.
Well, that is true.
And I'd like to go out, for the distraction. I know I'm trying not to romance Naran. I don't want to give Naran the wrong impressions, but I don't think it's safe for Naala to go out by herself. I smell a rat with this whole vegetable nonsense. I'm gonna be careful. Okay. I figured you'd like that, Naran, but I want to take you anyway. If I'm going out, I should call for Naran. With that in mind, when I tried to head to the front door, I was stopped by a loud voice from behind. I was going to call you! It's okay!
Mrs!
Ah, Naran. What's wrong?
What's wrong? Nothing. You have to go with me when you go out. Bro said so, right?
I was just thinking of calling for you.
Really?
Naran with his cheeks puffed out is cute, as I affirm while stroking his head. Yeah. Naran pouted for a bit, perhaps thinking he'd be left behind, but stroking him seemed to put him in a good mood. Shocking. He quickly smiled and led me to walk with his hand behind my back.
Well, let's go. Rest assured that I will protect you from any enemy.
I'm counting on you.
I don't feel like you trust me. I'm a far cry from bro, but I can still... Madam!
While Naran was refuting, the servant from before rushed up to me. With a light bow, I received a report.
Apologies to interrupt your conversation. A friend of Madam, a Miss Salanna, is here to see you. What would you like to do?
Salanna is? It's been a hot minute. I'd met with Salanna again upon visiting the residence again after the incident. However, I haven't heard anything about her romance with a Nasla man, which is what I'm the most interested in. Girl, spill that tea! If she finds it difficult to talk about, then I can't really force it out of her. So for the time being, we were happy for each other's safety, and parted ways with friendly conversation. Speaking of, she said she'd bring a beautiful textile next time. At first I wondered where she'd gotten the money to afford that. But thinking about it later, it wouldn't be strange for a man who proposed to Salanna to give her some kind of gift. I was convinced that she'd talk more about him upon bringing it. Then would you show her to my room? Naran, who had been listening next to me, seemed a little depressed, so I added with a wry smile. We'll go shopping afterwards.
No. Okay, I'll be waiting outside of your room.
I'll call for you once I'm done, so you don't have to wait outside of the room, you know.
Oh, I can't?
Well, it's not that you can't. I smiled wryly, imagining Naran waiting outside of the room like a loyal dog. He's like, walkies? Please don't go outside without me for walkies. Naran. You really are an honest kid. He's like, stop calling me a kid. I got a crush on you, missus. Oh, this poor guy. The moment I said it, the back of Naran's eyes went dark, although perhaps that was my imagination. As I stared in confusion, his usual lovely smile immediately returned. I rubbed my eyes, feeling that I had been mistaken. Naran, don't you go getting dark, soulless eyes, okay? I don't need that from you. I'm a good boy. Oh my goodness.
Right. I'm a good boy, so you should reward me sometimes.
What kind of reward do you want? We walk side by side while making jokes. On the other hand, there's a corner of my heart that disagrees with this peaceful scene. Every time I feel at ease, I feel the insides of my chest eroding away as if I'm being crushed by guilt. Understandable. Salanna, it has been so long. I entered the room after knocking, but Salanna looked uneasy. Rather impatient as she took a seat. Naala! What's wrong, Salanna? Approaching, Salanna showed a pretense of being wary of the figure outside of the room. When I noticed, I lowered my voice and led Salanna to the window. Did something happen? Salanna looked hesitant for a moment, looked down, and immediately twisted her lips and raised her face. It's a topic that requires a lot of determination. After taking a breath, she presented the package she had behind her back to me. This is... from my husband-to-be to you. Salanna, are you... getting married? I never imagined they'd skip from courting to getting married. I gazed at Salanna's face. I was on the verge of dropping the package I held, so I quickly regripped it. I'm sorry it took me a while to tell you. Seeing my shock, Salanna's thin shoulders drooped. When I returned to myself, I put my hand on her shoulder and whispered in a gentle voice to reduce Salanna's guilt by as much as possible. I'm not blaming you. I was just a little surprised. When did you start dating? Do you remember when I had a fever when we first came here? Yeah. I met him soon after that, and while we were talking... From that long ago? Wow, way back then, eh? I wonder who it is. Good for you, Salanna. I was amazed not only that Salanna had fallen in love and I hadn't noticed it, but even more so at how long it took. She might be the first Roos woman to have started dating. Oh. There was that one woman who was flirting in the courtyard. when Salanna got sick. So maybe not the first, but among the first. I was so surprised that I was at a loss for words. Salanna looked down with an apologetic face during the silence.
With Shalu the way she was, I couldn't say anything. I'm really sorry.
If this were Roos, I could have jokingly said I'd been on to her and she should have come out with it. But we're here in the enemy country of Nasla. On the underside of my feelings of happiness for my friend, complicated thoughts swirl. But I don't have the right to have such feelings now. I exhaled briefly to get rid of the confusion. Salanna gathered her courage and confessed to me, so I shouldn't dismiss her feelings. This textile is beautiful. Unwrapping the cloth, a beautiful textile emerged from inside. Although colorful threads are used, there is no flashy impression, and the finish has a sense of luxury. Not only the fineness of the drawn pattern, but also the shape is rich in variety, and it can be seen that it is not an ordinary craftsman's skill. This is probably something for aristocrats and royalty. Your husband must be pretty rich. It might have been a crass question, but given that this is my best friend's livelihood, I can't have her husband being poor. Salanna is a queen, and she shall be treated thusly. Even if I'm being nosy, I want her to be able to live a life without worry.
I'm not sure. He's not extremely rich, but I think we can live a normal life.
Salanna, who understands my feelings, smiles faintly. Okay, but it must have been pretty difficult then to get this textile.
Yes, it was quite difficult for him to complete it.
Complete it?
He's the one who wove it.
What? I was so surprised that I opened the cloth again and looked at it. Looking at this divine technique, this is certainly not something that can be done within the scope of a hobby.
He's the country's official royal weaver.
Ah, that's... In other words, he's a craftsman who has been certified as the best in the country. Yeah, that makes sense as I approach the beautiful cloth. Thinking about it, most of the men in the First District are royal officials or aristocrats.
I helped out. Only a little, though.
Really? Salanna was always dexterous and loved weaving and embroidery. The many dresses I've seen Salanna make could certainly be considered works of art. Huh. Sounds like they make a good match. Got that in common, at least. Is that how you two made a connection?
You got it.
But why?
It's a little late, but this is a wedding gift from both of us.
Aww. Well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I was happy that she thought of me. However, I couldn't really speak my true feelings and smiled awkwardly. Then Salanna, also seeming to have complicated feelings, put her hands on top of mine.
Having chosen this path, maybe I can't really say anything, but it seems in your current condition things are very harsh. Even still, I'm very proud of your strength and kindness to continue your mission of being mindful of the other women. But lately, I've been thinking, there's a dedication to our country that can only be done here.
Only be done here?
Yes. Here, I will give birth to his child. If we increase the number of children, then maybe they won't invade Roos anymore.
Oh. That's an interesting thought. Definitely not somewhere my mind would have gone, but it's an interesting thought.
And I will raise a child who will have the aspirations of both countries joining hands someday. We may have been brought here against our will, but believing in the words of the spirits, no fate is wasted. I think that perhaps that is my mission.
Salanna's thoughts may indeed be one conclusion. Yeah, it's not necessarily wrong or right. It's what brings her some comfort. And if that helps her to make peace with the situation, I can't really fault her for it. And, I mean, living in hope is a good way to live. She's not wrong that there is, there could be hope that her children live to see the two countries working together at some point. Salanna may very well be stronger than I am, who got lost in trying to figure out right and wrong. Salanna, you decided that.
Yes. Shalu was pretty upset, though.
Did you talk to Shalu?
Actually, that's another reason why I'm here today.
Tell me about Shalu, girl. Seeing Salanna's clouded face caused the anxiety in my chest to swell rapidly. I hadn't seen Shalu at all, so I was worried as I had no idea what she was thinking. That is way too suspicious. What about Shalu?
We were speaking normally at first, but partway through it was like my words weren't reaching her.
As she spoke, her already quiet voice became even more hushed, and she whispered in my ear.
She kept saying, "Poor you. You must be exhausted and can't make proper decisions. But don't worry, help is coming soon."
Oh no, the last time she spoke like this, things went bad. Help? Roos is taking action?
No, it doesn't seem so. But Shalu, for me and you. No, especially for you, she's more eager than before to get you home.
I wonder if her feelings of guilt for me are driving her.
That might be the case. But the number one reason is that for you, Shalu...
Salanna, what? Tell me about Shalu, what? What is her deal with me? Come on.
Anyway, I'm worried that Shalu will do something dangerous. The next time there's an incident, it won't be resolved so easily. She could even be disposed of as a dangerous element.
Right. No matter how moderate Toya is, Nasla doesn't seem to be a monolithic kingdom. But Salanna, it feels like Shalu is avoiding me.
Yeah. Which is why I'm even more worried.
Huh?
Shalu reaffirmed the strength of your will that night. She must have realized that you would never voluntarily escape, leaving everyone behind. That's why, the next time she comes to see you, she might...
She might do what?
She might take some action without asking you. Or without thinking about any of the other women. Which is probably why she won't, or can't meet you, until her preparations are complete. She wouldn't want you to stop her.
That can't be. Shalu is strong, but she's also very kind.
If you cause harm to the thing you want to protect the most, that could drive any kind person insane.
Salanna, are you saying that Shalu has gone mad?
I don't know. What I am saying is that you should be careful of Shalu's behavior.
I wonder if I should consult with Naran and secretly go look for Shalu. No, then I would be asked why. Even if Naran doesn't say anything, if SUREN finds out what I'm doing and asks, I don't know what would happen from there. Worst case, Shalu could be put in jeopardy. My bad feeling grew larger, and I felt a pain in the pit of my stomach. I looked out of the window, and as if planned, a large flower fell. The petals were crushed on the ground. I was horrified by the way they trembled weakly in the wind. Shalu. Please don't be an omen.
And then, bro... Misses?
What? Even though Naran was in the middle of talking, I couldn't stop thinking about Shalu and was scared. I asked in a hurry, and Naran, a bit sullen, slumped his shoulders.
Just when I thought I could enjoy shopping with you for the first time in a while, it's like I'm here by myself.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something.
About bro?
No, not quite. Why?
Well, lately you've been together with him all the time. I know things are tough for him now, but I'm a little lonely.
I wonder if it's because I've been constantly by SUREN's side lately. What did you do before, Naala? Out of curiosity, Naran, like, did you hang out with Ruzi, or like, what was your life? But I feel particularly refreshed as he can be honest with his feelings. I'm relieved as Naran is always straightforward with nothing to hide. You're so straightforward. It's so different from SUREN.
I'm just a kid compared to bro.
I didn't mean that in a bad way. An unfamiliar, cold expression on his face makes me shake my head in a huff. What is with everybody around me with their cold expressions? Stop getting dead eyes. Naala, what are you doing to these people? I didn't want him to think that I was humiliating him, so I took Naran's hand as he walked next to me and blurted it out at once. No, I mean that you're straightforward and it's cute. Naran looked down at his wrist in my grasp and looked indescribable for a moment. It's not quite a feeling of discomfort, nor is it embarrassment. If I had to describe it... Did I say something to make you sad?
No, you didn't. Just... I thought there are times when I'm not so straightforward.
There are times when anyone will want to tell a lie or two. But while I was with him, I only had the impression that he was bright and pure, so him saying that intrigued me more than if I'd heard it from someone else. Is that so?
Yeah, especially lately.
Naran's eyes drifted to the stalls, drawn by the voices calling out to him. There, colorful vegetables were being sold, including the root vegetables that had disappeared. When I noticed this, for some reason, Naran dropped his gaze. You don't think Naran got rid of the veggies so that he and Naala could go shopping and get away from bro? Oh, I hope not. Oh, man. Oh, Naran. Ah, those are the vegetables that disappeared from the kitchen.
Oh, really?
But it did allow me to go shopping with you, so it's not all bad. Naran?
Oh, I'll go buy it, so could you buy the fruits over there?
On the other side of the road, a short distance away, there is a stall with a pile of fruit. He indicated that place with his finger and tilted his head. Huh? We could go together.
This way saves time, right? We shouldn't be away for too long. For bro.
Well, that's right. Although SUREN's injuries have mostly healed, he still needs assistance at times. If I'm not there, everyone else will suffer, so I shouldn't be out for too long. I have to have SUREN's subordinates do their best, for the sake of the Roos women. Just the other day, someone from the military got into trouble for trying to forcefully seduce one woman. Uh-oh. Naughty, naughty. The long-standing shortage of women and exhaustion from war. The accumulated load must have erupted in an unintended way. According to the person who was almost taken, another soldier helped her out, but... I shudder to think about what might have happened if no one had been around to help. If something like that happens again, the women's activities could be restricted in the name of protection. Even though the king, who is in charge of everything, keeps a close eye on things, there is a limit to his prestige. Even in a country with an excellent king, crimes are bound to happen. That is true. Up until now, I'm sure, they've been able to go through their lives without any notable incidents because of their awe and respect for SUREN, who is nearby to them. In the absence of that commander, the only people who can lead the subordinates are the direct subordinates. Then, when we've both finished our shopping, we'll meet at the entrance.
Okay. Oh, and if something happens, just scream and I'll be right there.
I'll be fine. I've been to the market a few times with Naran, and I'm now recognized as SUREN's wife. Not many people would dare to touch me. I smiled and Naran chuckled, and we each headed for our respective destinations. Okay, first... Naala. While I was choosing fruit, a whisper from behind me almost made me scream out loud. A slender fingertip was placed over my mouth. A familiar figure made my heart flutter in my chest. Oh hey, what a coinky-dink that we run into you now. I don't like this. I don't like it. I feel like I'm in danger. But now I'm suspicious of Naran. Because the timing of him being like, get fruits from that particular stand, I'm not going with you. Also, to get her out of the house today. He was worried when Salanna came by, like, crap, are we not going shopping now? I'm gonna wait outside your door so you don't forget we're going shopping. What if Naran and Shalu are working together? But why? And how? I mean, Naran's been going to the women's place for, like, the whole time. Him and Shalu could have connected, but I just don't understand. I just have a bad feeling. I got it. Look, my stomach, my gut is telling me sus things are happening right now, okay? Hey, it's been a while. Could we talk in private? Shalu. Recognizing a familiar, beautiful face, I felt a rush of nostalgia. Really, it felt like we hadn't seen each other for years, even though we had only parted ways a few months ago. She seemed slightly worse for wear, but nothing else had changed. Relieved, I put my hand on Shalu's shoulder. Thank goodness. I thought I might never see you again. Sorry. I've been particularly busy lately. What on earth was making her so busy? As I was about to ask, she took the hand I'd placed on her shoulder. She pulled it, dragging me forward. Shalu? Hey, could you come this way? We can't really talk in peace here. Ah, but there's someone waiting for me. I looked back at the place where Naran would be, but I couldn't see him due to the wall of people. Suspicious. While I am wondering what to do, her grip on my wrist becomes stronger. It has to be now. Did something happen? Yeah. Actually, about the girl who was almost taken the other day, apparently the same guy is after her again. Really? But then, wouldn't someone else? It's fine. The king's reprimand seems to have worked, so they can talk calmly now. And since she's with another woman, we don't have to worry about her being attacked. But we don't know when he might try to force something again. And that's why I want you, as the military commander's wife, to say something. But if we don't hurry now, we'll miss this opportunity. It won't work if we don't catch him in the act, right? Nope. Nope. No, no, no. No, 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 no. All the no. I don't like any of this. By the way, Salanna. The strange story Salanna told me this morning passed through my mind. Salanna said that Shalu was eager to get me back. But if I refuse or act suspicious here and now, Shalu will be wary again and may start avoiding me. If she thinks she's failed to rescue me, she might act more recklessly next time. Yeah, but how do you stop this cycle? How? That would make discussions increasingly difficult. Right now I have to stop Shalu. I can't let her continue if she's doing something dangerous. Anyway, I'll follow Shalu carefully and see if I can figure out what she's doing. Okay, so we're going regardless. I guess it's just... For Naala, she's either, like, blindly trusting her or she's going in with caution. So I guess... Better to be going with caution, although I'd be like, Naran!
Yo, could you come with me, please?
Right. Well then, let's go. Thanks. I knew I could count on you. I followed at a distance, pretending that it was hard to move around in the crowd. Then I followed Shalu around a corner and into a back alley.